Hello Internet, it's Zeg and the Night. I'm here in Factorio. And at the end of the last episode we just finished getting purple and blue science online for a certain definition of online, because as you can see there's virtually no resources coming down the lines at the moment, because I drastically need to upgrade the smelting. So that's what we're going to do at the start of this episode. And I also need to upgrade my power, probably with a bunch more solar and maybe some accumulators. I don't know, we'll see. And we should probably start with that, really, I guess. So let's head on down to the manufacturing plant. Pick up some stuff. Probably need to pick up multiple rounds of stuff, because there's not going to be many of these in here. And I do kind of want to continue using steel furnaces for now. Let's unlock this to like 50 for a minute, just so it doesn't stop producing while I'm here. Accumulators, I mean, I've only got one stack, and I'd have to actually remember how to wire up a power switch, which is something I almost always forget. Well, we'll give it a shot. We're going to need solar panels. Maybe not all of those. We'll do like 200. And we're going to want some, where are they, substations. Sure, we'll just take all of those. Right. Is there anything else that I need to pick up while I'm here? I should probably make sure I've got plenty of these, because I'm going to need those for laying out the next part of the factory. I can probably deposit some of this copper. I don't need to be carrying quite so much of this around. I mean, in theory I shouldn't need to carry virtually anything around any longer. Oh, and here's something else I was thinking of. I might want to take about 50, maybe like 25. Take some logistics storage boxes, because the coal mine up at the what will be the other half of the labs, where we've got that thing right in the way, I was thinking I'll just drop my logistics, drop a roboport up there, and put it back down to like 10. We'll drop a roboport up at the coal stack and just use the logistics zone to dump it all into containers. That would be much easier than trying to belt it around. Because we're probably going to need to get this coal mine out of the way before I build anything else. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the roboport like here-ish somewhere. A whole bunch of storage chests. I will still want to be able to get the stuff back out of the storage chest relatively easily. So if I do free 3 tile gaps between each line of storage chests should be good enough. Because that way I can potentially run a belt out from it at some point. Something like that. And the radio port, we'll put it here, I guess, so it's in between the two things that it's going to be travelling between. And then we need some active provider. Oh, I don't have active providers, do I? Because I haven't actually researched advanced logistics. Can I even research advanced logistics without... what's it? Oh, nope, you actually need high tech. Oh, that's slightly awkward. I guess I can't really do that then. Well, I might still use these chests though. We'll just do it the old school way with just a belt going up there. Just another big pile of chests. Okay. That obviously sucks, but, you know, I'll still continue to empty this thing very slowly. How much is there actually left in here now? 78,000. Oh man, look at this pollution cloud. It's getting a bit crazy at the moment. I definitely need to deal with the power. Okay. Let's start organising some kind of more legitimate solar farm based around the old substation range. Apparently this has been updated so the substation range is slightly larger now. So we just do a fairly standard square. But the question there is, does it tile? No, it doesn't quite. The wire reach isn't sufficient to do that full square. We should probably actually just work it out from the wire reach. That would be an easier way to get this right. So the wire reach is exactly the edge of the zone. So if we want this to be easily tileable, then there can't be any overlap. Everything has to be contained within the zone. So it looks like we're going to fit a little ring of accumulators in the middle of here, I guess. So what's that? 8 accumulators to 32 solar panels. I forget what the ideal ratio is for that. Do I have that written down somewhere in one of my files? I think I might. Let me go and look. So what is it? 60 kilowatt solar panels and 5 megajoule capacity. Which would be 32 solar panels to 26 accumulators. So that means you'd need another 20-ish, we'll call it. So if I make another blueprint that's just accumulators, then we can pair them together. So that's 8. What's that, 22? 24. So I could fit maybe one more round of solar panels. Would that work? How many more solar panels would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. That would be another 20 solar panels. So 43 accumulators. That's not going to work, is it? Well, I guess I don't have. I guess I could just fill in this whole square of accumulators and then have this be enough to supply another set of solars. So assuming that's, what would that be? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 80 accumulators in one of those squares, plus the 8. So what would that give me? Should give me about 100 solars. That's about 96 solars for 80 accumulators. So that would be like 4 sets of 32. That makes sense. No, wait, 3, 4. 4 sets of 32 is 128. Oh, maths. 112 accumulators. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's slightly in favour of the accumulators. But I think that might work. So you do one of these accumulator banks to every 4 sets of solar panels. Of course I don't have nearly enough solar panels to accumulators to actually set that up. Can I still make a blueprint from ghosts? Of course my robots are going to try and lay them down, that's not very helpful. Let me take off my armour for a minute. Oh, that was a bad idea too. I forgot, that's my inventory. Oh, never mind. We'll just work with what we've got at the moment. So, now we need to try and construct a power switch, if I can remember how that works. It should be 1 arithmetic, 1 decider, 2 power switches. And then it's... I always forget this setup. If the signal is bigger than 99, output itself, and then the arithmetic one you do multiplied by what? Multiplied by 1? And then output itself? Wait, that doesn't seem right. No, wait, you multiply by 100 and then output it. I'm pretty sure that's right. So basically you're saying that once the accumulator reaches 99, this one outputs a 1. You take that 1, multiply it by 100 and output it, then you feed it back in so that the input becomes 199. Wait, and then what? Wait, do I actually need to do this now? Because now we have comparisons that do greater or equal to and not equal. Could I actually use those? Because what I'm trying to make is a latch of some kind. Oh god, I totally forget how this works. Screw it, I'm just going to go and look it up. Even though, if I remember rightly, the example that is shown is not actually that helpful for this specific setup. Okay, so the input, you take the value, you say the trigger, output the value, take in the value, multiply it by the reset point, and output itself. That still isn't helping me visualize this at all. Let me use a different signal in here. So that's actually not quite right. You want this to be 99 as well. Or 1. Wait, or 1? I'm so bad at remembering this. It's slightly awkward to do it with the solar panels because I always get confused about the draining versus the filling, because it's easy enough to trigger something when you're going over a limit, but then you're coming back under a limit. Okay, let me run this through my brain one more time. The accumulator input goes into here. When it reaches 100, which is to say bigger than 99, it outputs a 1. The 1 goes in here, gets multiplied by 99 and gets re-output as the A. So that goes back into there. That keeps that on until the accumulators are empty, which will be when there's only 99 being sent from here. And then it turns off again until it reaches 99. Yes, okay. I think I finally got that through my brain in a way that makes sense. So let's actually just real quickly just physically test that. Let me wire it up first. So it should be output green into input, and then output from this loop back around. And we'll need an accumulator. And the 2 power switches. And some solar panels. So we should be looking at the input for the green wire goes into there. Of course, these are actually going to need powering by the thing. Okay, 199. Then we need the output control, which we'll do on the red wire just to be on the safe side, so there's no confusion. So on the red wire, if the output signal A is bigger than 0, do that one, and if A is equal to 0, do that one. Then we make some output. Actually, I guess what I want to do is get rid of these and just build something over here that will drain it faster than the accumulators will anyway. Like to stick down the road before that will drain it pretty quick. So what we should see is once this gets drained, these two will swap. That did not happen. Oh, wait, do I need to actually power the accumulators from the outside of the... from the outside? There you go. That's what I needed. That's right, you actually have to have the accumulators have power in order to be able to do the calculation. So that will switch them, and then if I get rid of this, put the solar panels back in. Unfortunately it's now night, so that's kind of abruptly stopping this test. Actually, you know what? I can just cheat. Power it off the steam engines. So once this reaches full again, they should switch back. Sweet. Okay. That appears to be a successful switch now that I've remembered how to do it. Not going to demolish that yet because I'm going to need that for reference. So, with that being the case, I'm going to want to power the combinators individually. I'll probably use a small power pole and just run them off a little, like one solar panel, one accumulator, because that will power them forever, I'm sure. So let's fiddle around with the steam engines, because I think if I use medium poles, I can run a single line instead of this weird double line. Of course, I'm about to completely power down my entire base. I want this connected either. Luckily, I'm not using laser turrets yet, so it doesn't matter if my entire base gets turned off. We do actually need some kind of cross-link though. Maybe we'll just use a big pole, maybe. Actually, putting one there and then having these slightly further up would work better. Okay, now let's remove some of these. And a fish. Right, now we want to very carefully choose where to build this power switch. I'm thinking probably up here along this coastline. So you're going to want steam engines. You're going to want the 2 power switches. And those link into the actual network. So if you have the steam engine input there, the actual network here, and the solar input there. Let's disconnect these wires. Then the actual network needs an output somewhere over here. Or wherever. I mean, as long as it links in, that'll be fine. And then we have power switch, combinators, the little solar panel, and the thing. Okay, so remind me one more time. It's A is bigger than 99, output red 1, red times 99, output A. So those go there, around their own little power pole. A small one. Do I need to do that? Maybe I can get away with running them off the external network, because they should always be powered. We'll try it. What is going on with this? I'm not even sure where I'm connected. Oh right, there's those 2 steam engines down in the production base. I remember. Okay, so this is A. It's bigger than 99. Output red 1. Input red times 99. Output A. And wire it up, which is output red to input, input to input. Then we need to build the 2 power switches. Connect those up appropriately. Okay. Then we need to take a blueprint of this, or something approximately like this anyway. Come to me, robots. And it will want to go down here. As close as I may want to. As long as it doesn't link in at the steam engines at any point, that will probably be fine right here. Of course, I'm going to need to fiddle with these wires so that it's not connected to anything except for this. And then we use the corner accumulator to do the sending of the signal. Okay, and now this one is on the red output, and that one. So this one is A is bigger than 0, and this one is A equals 0. Okay. Steam engines are going. So now let's blueprint this bit of solar panel. Oh, I already did blueprint that bit of solar panel, didn't I? Let's move it. Okay. Let's just lay that blueprint down like 3 more times, even though I don't have the accumulators for the middle of it, but okay, now what we should see is as soon as this reaches full, it will switch over. Cut the steam engines off. And then we might not actually see the thing switch back. So let me just start disassembling all the rest of this. $128, yep, that's how many we should be seeing on the network. Though we'll also be seeing 2 steam engines, I guess. Although I guess those don't turn on until later. I'm nearly out of robot charge again. Alright. Let's wait for nighttime. Nighttime is coming very slowly. So how much power usage am I on at the moment? Not very much. It's probably not even actually going to manage to drain these accumulators. Still waiting. Okay, they're starting to drain. Those two steam engines down at the other factory are coming on. Burn some of that wood. Yeah, I get the feeling these probably aren't going to drain during this amount of night. With this amount of power drain. Well, maybe they will. Solar panels are just starting to come back up. I don't think they're gonna. Nope, looks like that's actually sufficient accumulators for the idle power of my base at the moment. Well, okay, so that's that. So after all that, let's go back to some sped up footage again. Going to build out some more of this just to finish off the accumulators that I need in this set. And maybe a whole nother set of solar panels, we'll see. And upgrade the smelter. That'll be what will be happening during this sped up segment. Oh, and probably starting work on the next bit of the science factory. We'll see how long it takes. Okay, start it now. Okay, here we are again. So, during all that sped up time, as you may have seen, I cleared the aliens out of the desert because they were getting a bit aggro on my giant pollution cloud that was coming off the iron ore mines. Not that I'm actually mining at the moment, so that's all disappeared, but it was probably time to push them back a bit anyway. And that's also given me a couple more iron deposits that I can easily get to, so that'll be nice. That's still going, the coal mine, still gradually picking away at it, only a little bit to go. So that will finally get finished. And then I can build the new bit of lab. Oh yeah, and while I was clearing out the aliens, I decided to test to see how explosive ammo is now, and it's pretty freaking powerful. It one-shots the alien bases, which is pretty nice. So maybe the tank will actually be slightly more useful for longer now, rather than power armor being the one solution. And then while I was waiting for the coal to mine and still trying to think of stuff to do, I figured I may as well set up a little uranium mine on this tiny deposit and start extracting it in preparation to start worrying about the actual nuclear power. So I've made this train get sulfuric acid in it. Now that I think about it, this isn't... Yeah, no, that is fine, isn't it? I was going to say there's two types of uranium ore, but there isn't actually two types of uranium ore. There's two types of refined uranium after you've centrifuged it. So I'll put it into this train, and then this train will go somewhere. Haven't really decided where yet. There'll be a little uranium processing location. I mean, in reality, it might end up being up here again, just so I can run it off this same power switch. We'll see. So let's power this up and see how the uranium mining goes. See how quickly it drains this 20,000 sulfuric acid. How hard is uranium? 0.9 and 4. So it takes twice as long to mine as copper, but the same hardness. Oh yes, and I also made some productivity modules to shove in here, because I figured I may as well try and get as much out of this little deposit as possible. Okay, sweet. So how much is there in total? 18k. It's not too much. And where's the next nearest one? Yeah, the next nearest uranium deposit's probably that one, which has 42k. There's this one where we could see about closing off this peninsula. 420k, that's quite a lot. And then up here there's these ones, but I don't know if we're going to go for them very soon. Of course, I don't actually know how much this is going to actually use in terms of how fast the reactors burn the uranium and the centrifuging and the reprocessing. See how long that takes as well. Okay, so that's all set up. Let's go check on the coal mining situation again. And also bring my car back over here because I left it over at the oil refinery. Okay, we're nearly done. Am I going to have to build any more boxes to finish this off? Probably not. Well, maybe actually. How much space is there? There's about... So foul in that one. 2 in that. Yeah, it's probably going to need a couple more chests, I would say. So we'll give them a couple more chests. Okay, so what's the plan? The next stage of production. Well, it's pretty much just build this next bit of lab, which is going to be military science, and then red and green. Then we need to start thinking about high tech. So that's where the sulfuric acid comes in for batteries and processing units. Speed modules are obviously just red and green circuits, and then copper cable. Not too difficult to make, but it's going to use a lot of resources. Of course, I won't build the high-tech science until after I've rebuilt the labs, just so I can start research up again, especially now that I've got production science available. So once I've built military red and green, then I'll build the labs, then I'll build the high-tech. Not entirely sure where the labs are going to go. I might actually run them down this gap. Depends how the military science fits in over here. I'll probably need to move all this coal. Inconvenience myself again. Might not take too long to move if I just use some stack inserters and maximise the belts. Build a storage area up here. Or just extend this one. So we might be able to fit the labs in down the back, because they've got to have, let's see, 3 belts for each lab. So you'd be talking 2 on one side, then the lab, and then 1 on the other. So it would just barely fit in that gap. The question is whether military science will fit in that gap on this side. I mean, I imagine it should, because it shouldn't be anywhere more complex than purple and blue were. So we'll give that a go in the next video. So now, put that social stuff on the screen. happysalad.net is our website, where the podcast lives forever. Facebook.com/happysaladnet is the Facebook, and @saladcast is the Twitter. For some reason I was going to say the YouTube channel, but that's probably where you're watching this video anyway. that's it. See you in the next one.